And we're live. Sorry, I was a few seconds late there. Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Shout out to Apple, by the way, who's just said he's tuned in at 4 a.m. His time. So fair play. That is dedication. What time is it where you guys are? Welcome all to the stream. The reason I was a few seconds late, did we just get a Double Gameweek 25 announcement as we were going live? Am I mistaken? Let me just pull this up. I'm just trying to decipher it. I was trying to work out the dates and what this lines up with. Help me out here, someone. Is this Double Gameweek 25? Liverpool versus Luton rearranged fixture details confirmed. A new date has been confirmed for Liverpool's rearranged home fixture against Luton Town in the Premier League. Is that Double Gameweek 25? When's February 21st? 21st is... Yeah, that's Double Gameweek 25 for Liverpool. Holy. That's a Double Gameweek, isn't it, for Liverpool? Hang on, so... Luckily, I prepared a graphic like a week ago in case this came out. And I think this is what the double's going to be now. Let me just pull this up. Let's digest this one live. I think this is the Double Gameweek. Now. Can anyone confirm? Because I'm trying to work it out live. I think that's the Double Gameweek now. So it'd be Brentford, City, Liverpool and Luton with a Double Gameweek 25. It was expected, but people thought maybe it doesn't happen. People thought maybe it wouldn't happen because they're leaving it really late, because it's like barely 2 weeks now to the deadline. Is that right? Anyway, welcome all of you to the stream. Welcome Roy, Talal, Emma, Cameron, Gray, That Skip Boy, Manzu, Austin, John, Hilmar, Jack, Matus, Immortal, Treknique, and everyone else. Oh, that's a massive bombshell, because I was starting to get comfortable with buying De Bruyne and not having to get Salah. So, yeah, that's an interesting development. Tushar says, did you enjoy Traitors Season 2? I loved it. I absolutely loved Traitors, yeah. Really, really good. I would say it was on par with Season 1. And I thought Season 1 would be hard to match, but it was really good. So yeah, that completely changes things. So my loose plan was going to be I'd buy Haaland this week. Well, I've done that already. Let me go back to my team. And then I was going to buy probably De Bruyne in Game Week 24. But now I might have to get Salah. But that makes it tricky because Liverpool blank in Game Week 26, as we know. In fact, I don't have the Game Week 26 blanks here. Yeah, Liverpool blank in Game Week 26. So obviously it would be a really nice Double Game Week 25 for Liverpool. And they follow that with the blank. So yeah. Interesting. So I've made a transfer. I've sold Alvarez for Haaland. Just one transfer for me this week. I'm still not settled on captaincy. I think there's so many good options this week. Who are you guys on this week? I think Haaland's good. Watkins is good. Solanke's good. Palmer's good. You could go De Bruyne again if you went to him last week. I think he's perfectly good. I think even Gordon's good. Zaki is on Captain Bowen. Malbert, Captain KDB. Gordon for Wilkie. Jack's on Ha. Who's Ha? Harrison. Watkins, De Bruyne. So I'm going to quickly tweet the Double Game Week then. Let's get that out of the way. I think I may as well put the graphic out there because I've made it already. So, Double Game Week alert. I'll pull this up as well so you can see as I'm writing it. Double Game Week alert. There we go. Liverpool and Luton will double in Game Week 25. Bosh. Hopefully I got those fixtures right. Liverpool play Brentford and Luton. Luton play Man United and Liverpool. Wow. So, okay, based on that announcement then, I've got a question. How many double Game Week assets are you going to have in Game Week 25 now? We'll do a poll for that. I'm interested to know where everyone's going to be when we get to Game Week 25. So, how many double Game Week assets will you have? So, what will be the minimum? 3? 4? Maybe I'll start with 4, because I think most people have got at least 1 or 2 City assets, maybe 1 or 2 Liverpool. 4, 5, 6, 7 plus? So the most you can have is 8, so... No, sorry, the most you could have is 12. So I think that's about right. Get your votes in. How many are you going to have? So, working out my team then, I've got Liverpool that doubles in 25. Haaland, Edison. So I've got 3 at the moment. So... I'll probably get Salah now. I still need to decide Salah or De Bruyne. I mean, that's a decision for Game Week 23, 24. I'm just thinking out loud. Luca's got 2. Colin Morris 4. Immortal's got 2. So the poll is how many will you have? Not currently. How many will you have once you make your transfers over the next 3 game weeks? Wow. Bar's got 5. Chris has got 7. 7, very nice. Yeah, now what do we do with triple captaincy as well? Like, do we triple captain Salah? Do we triple captain Haaland? Let me refresh. Have they updated the ticker? Not yet. So at the moment it just says Luton and Liverpool have got a single game week 25, but now we know it's a double. Anyway, welcome all to the stream. Yeah, we've got a good deadline stream lined up, so thanks for being here. Lots to talk about. The strangest thing happened last night. So my girlfriend's family were having like a takeaway night, and they knew that I'd had this thing where I was going on Sky Sports to talk about FPL. So that they were like, oh, what time's it on? And I was like, oh, 7 o'clock. So the dad was like fiddling around with the remote, and he found the channel that it was on. And it was a really surreal moment, because I was sitting in their living room watching myself on TV. I felt so uncomfortable, like really anxious, but it was quite cool as well. Like, a good flex, isn't it? I'm sure they were impressed, like their daughter's boyfriend on TV. Yeah, it was a very surreal moment. I think I took a screenshot actually. Here it was, in case anyone missed it. Your boy FPL was on Sky Sports. It went on TV around the world apparently. So that was pretty cool. It was on like TNT, but I'm not sure what channels in other countries, but I got tagged in a few tweets as well saying they'd seen me, so mental. Dusty Tone says, what transfers would you make? And he sent his team ID. Let's have a look at your team. I still can't believe they've dropped that double gaming announcement right now. I don't see why they wouldn't have done it like earlier in the week, but I guess they had their reasons. So here's your team. What transfers would I make? How much have you got in the bank? 4.3, and you've got 1 free transfer. I think he might have to roll. This is his team. I think that's a roll. You start Trippier, so you bench Emerson. I'd start Solanke, obviously, so I think I'd bench Luis Diaz. I'd bench Diaz or Foden, it's one of the two. Do you guys think Foden starts again, or do you think he's due a rest like Bernardo Silva got? But that's a definite roll to me. I've just edited the stream title to Double Game Week 25 announced. Let's hop on that trend. Yeah, it's definitely a roll that. And I'd start Solanke, so I'd bench one of Foden or Luis Diaz. And I'd start Trippier, obviously. But yeah, that's a roll. And then you can use those 2 transfers to get back to Haaland in Game Week 24. I mean, I'm not sure what my route to Salah is going to be now, you know. I think it'll have to be Bowen to Garnacho, Saka to Salah, and then something like Solanke to Foster, like a cheap forward. Morning, Joseph. How we doing? So yeah, double game week 25. 52% have got 4, 27% have got 5, 10% have got 6, and 11% have got 7 or more. Law says Alvarez or Haaland. Thoughts, everyone? I've gone Alvarez to Haaland. So, I prefer Haaland. Yeah, let's do a poll on Haaland. Does Haaland start this week? Obviously, last game was his first game back. And he came off the bench, played a short cameo. So does he come into the starting 11 this week? I've got the armband on him at the moment, but let me know. Let us know what you think. Does he start? Or does he get one more bench appearance? We'll go through the news roundup as well in a sec, because Pep did have a few words to say about Haaland, so we'll have a look at that. Sakim sent his team ID. He's got 2 free transfers. He's not sure what to do. This is his team. 2 free transfers, not sure what to do. Yeah, that's a difficult one actually. How much have you got in the bank? 5.2. You could do either Neto or Gross to Gordon. I think Gordon's a really nice pick for the next few weeks. I think that's probably what I would do there. But yeah, a bit of a benching dilemma. I suppose you have to start Walker over Gabriel and hopefully he comes back into the team. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. Bring in Gordon. And you've got another double gaming asset now with Doughty on the bench, so that's nice. And they might get the a double game against Bournemouth as well. Around Game Week 28, it's being rumoured. Dimitri says, hi Focal, thoughts on Trippier captaincy? You know what, I don't mind it at all. I think we don't ordinarily captain defenders, but I feel like in a fixture like Luton home, with an attacking defender like Trippier and Trent, those are the sort of times where you can make exceptions. So I think Trippier is perfectly good as a captain. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. Jacob says, hey mate, drunk me last night had Burn come in for Colwell when a role transfer was planned. Any suggestions for the next couple of weeks? Trying to figure out how I get both Haaland and Salah. Don't drunken FPL. Never drunken FPL. Have any of you ever made a drunk FPL transfer and regretted it? You know what, I say that, I'm being a hypocrite. When I was in Ireland for their FPL meetup back in Game Week 7, I activated my wildcard after a few pints of Guinness, so... And that wildcard worked out, so maybe there's times where it can. I guess there's a sweet spot, isn't there? To take the edge off, but not to get hammered and make mistakes. So you've brought in... Let's have a look at your team. You've brought in Burn for Colwell. Well, I would leave it at that. Did you say you've got 2 free transfers? Yeah, it's not worth a second transfer for a hit. Leave it at that. I mean, Burn's fine. Like, it's a nice fixture this week. I don't mind that move. But yeah, just leave it at that for now. You've got loads of money in the bank, 7.1 mil. So you've got a route to Haaland, which would be Alvarez out, I suppose. Or maybe not. Maybe you could go Solanke next week because they do have Fulham, but then they've got Newcastle City. But I think that's fine. I don't think that's a bad transfer, to be fair, as far as drunk transfers go. Hopefully not, John. Dusty says I drunk captain Cancelo and he got sent off. Oh, that's unlucky though, isn't it? Like, you can't predict stuff like that. Was that against Fulham? I vaguely remember that. I had him that week. Yeah, he got -2, I think. So you got -4 from him. Speaking of negative scores, we've got a little game to play later, I guess the player game, and if anyone can guess it correctly, I'll drop 5 gifted memberships in the chat. Bench Saka or Foden? You know, I think this is actually a close one. Foden's got the better fixture, but Saka we know is going to start. Foden not necessarily. I think I'd bench Foden there, just about. Start Bowen or Saka? I would start Saka. I'm in the same position. And I've started Saka, Bowen first on bench. Senior Lump says, morning Oscar, wish you a good weekend, love you. Love you too, thanks for being here. So let's go through the news roundup and the stuff that was said about Pep and some other teams. Quite a lot to unpack today, so I'll bring you up to speed on all the news. Just labelling my tabs for later. Villa first. Emery confirmed that Pau Torres is getting better and trained individually, but won't be back to face Sheffield United this weekend. And they're waiting for an update on Digne, so no Pau Torres for game week 23. Brighton update. A late decision is going to be made on João Pedro after his injury-enforced withdrawal in the game against Luton. So, Pep was asked about Haaland, and he said everybody's fit, everybody's ready. So Haaland's back and available, so he's absolutely an option this week. It's just whether to captain him if you are bringing him in. Does he start? I've brought him in already. Still not 100% on captaincy, but he's in my team. Nicholas Jackson's back from AFCON and will be in the squad. Nkunku's going to be assessed whether he's ready after 45 minutes midweek. Cole's unlikely to feature. Chalobah's really close. Hodgson said that Eze's doubtful and will go for a hamstring scan today. This was yesterday. Elise is okay and was substituted as a precaution. Liverpool news. Klopp has revealed Darwin Núñez is a doubt to face Arsenal. He said, I don't know if Darwin's available. He left the stadium in a boot, nothing broken, an x-ray clear but swollen. We'll have to see if his foot can get back in a boot. So Darwin is a doubt, but he has been... I think there was a photo though of him in training, if I'm not mistaken, with a boot on. So he might be alright after all. Isak has a chance of making the squad for Game Week 23 after limping off midweek. Barnes and Wilson are probably a little bit ahead of Joe Willock. But yeah, we can't trust the Newcastle pressers. I would say Isak's probably out when they say he's close, or might make it. Per Hansen says Martinez, Alvarez and Foden to Dubravka, Gordon, Haaland. Lack the funds to get my countryman in. It has to be either Gordon in or Porro to Gusto. I don't know how I'd feel about selling two Man City assets when they've got the GW23 going, but I do get those moves. Those are nice moves. As long as you can get back to having ideally triple City for their GW25, then I would go for that. Yeah, I think that's fine. I like those moves. Yeah, do it. Manprit sent his ID, says, should I move Saka to KDB and captain him? I've already got Haaland and Foden. Also, does Trent start for Liverpool this game week? I think he probably does. I'm hoping he does, but I think he probably does. Came off the bench last game, but Bradley has been smashing it. We were talking about that on the FPL show, actually. They asked me the same question. And, yeah, Bradley's done way better than anyone expected. I just feel like Trent probably does come back in, though. I probably wouldn't move Saka to De Bruyne and captain him. I would leave it a week. I think I'd leave it a week. I mean, does De Bruyne start again? I think I'd probably leave it a week. Unless you've got two transfers. I would roll otherwise. I think you can wait a week. And you might want to get Salah instead. If anyone's joining late, we've literally just had double Game Week 25 announced. Those are the fixtures. So Liverpool and Luton have joined Game Week 25. So it's a double for 4 teams now. So, poll question, does Haaland start? 72% say he does, 28% say he doesn't. So, I've got a really interesting poll now with that fresh information. Who is your captain going to be in Game Week 25? Haaland or Salah? With those fixtures on the screen. I'll chuck in someone else as well, in case you want to go like De Bruyne or someone like that. So City are going to play Chelsea and Brentford, both home games. Liverpool are going to play Brentford and Luton. So who would your captain be in that scenario? And I suppose there's going to be quite a lot of triple captains active now, isn't there? Cameron reckons Salah's the better choice. G. Rid says he's captaining Mengi. Fair play. Miles says Tony. Yeah, forgotten all about Tony as well. This is why that announcement is actually kind of annoying, because I was going to go Bowen to Garnacho, Saka to De Bruyne, and then I was going to sell either Solanke or Watkins to Tony. But now I have to think about Liverpool and whether to get them. Sam Brooks says Adebayo 100%. I was talking to a mate earlier in the week, and he's in a mini league, and a casual manager in his league captained Adebayo for his hat-trick last week, and he went from like near the bottom of the league to near the top in one go. He had a massive week, like 100 points. That is crazy. Like, who captains Adebayo and then he goes and gets a hat-trick? Fair play. Guess that's why you should play your own game at times, right? Official INZ says, I did Haaland and Share for Trent and Alvarez using 2 free transfers. I can't believe they just announced the double. Oh, yeah, that's a bit unlucky. I suppose like that's why making your transfers as late as possible is always the best way to play it, because you get the maximum amount of information then. There doesn't tend to be much that changes, you know, in the final hours before the deadline though. Like we are under 2 hours till deadline, and we've had the double gaming announced. They don't normally do that. I'm surprised they've done that, because the reason they don't normally do that is because it's unfair in some time zones. So there must have been some complication in the background while they've only just announced it now. Because yeah, there's people that are gonna probably miss the deadline because they'll still be asleep. Like, you know, like in the USA, for example, the deadline must be like 4 AM local time for some people. So they're going to be completely unaware of this double game week. But yeah, that's the way it goes. They don't normally do it last minute anyway, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there we go. We've had the double game week announced. Bradley says, probably doing Archer to Haaland. I've got a headache with Cash. Do you think he starts? If so, Cash or Taylor over Gabriel? I'm unsure on the next moves. Does Cash start? Really hard to say, to be honest. He started last game, didn't he? So you've got Porro, Estupiñán. Yeah, I'd start Cash. You have to start him. I'd much rather start Cash than Gabriel. Because I don't think Arsenal keep a clean sheet, if I'm totally honest. So you start Cash. And if he has a Camry off the bench, he could end up with the same score as Gabriel anyway. So I would start Cash there. What is this tune playing? Don't know, it's copyright free playlist. This is called Skyamachi by Marco F. I have to use copyright free music, or the channel gets a copyright strike or something like that. Is the music volume alright, or is it too loud? Ooh, Estupiñán or Share. I think you have to start Estupiñán there, just because of how attacking he is. Rocket League tunes. Is it actually on Rocket League? It sounds like it, doesn't it? It probably is. Why Haaland? I just think there's a good chance he comes into the 11. And if he does, I'll turn it down a bit. And if he does, then he's got to be the best captain, hasn't he? I mean, these are the projected points for Game Week 23. I estimated 70 minutes for Haaland, and that puts him in 4th, but it's very close at the top, to be fair. Solanke, Watkins, Bruno, and then Haaland. So yeah, anyone on Solanke captain, Watkins? We'll do a captain poll in a second, but yeah, it's very close at the top this week. I mean, 0.5 projected points separates first to, what is that, 7th for Rashford? Nothing in it this week. Loads of good options, so if you get it right this week, I imagine captaincy is going to be quite spread. Some people are going to be too nervous to go on Haaland, which is understandable. Solanke's great, Watkins is great, Palmer, Trippier, who was mentioned earlier, Gordon even. So who's your captain going to be in double game week 25? 59% Haaland, 21% Salah. That's surprisingly low. I'm assuming that's because lots of people don't have Salah at the moment, or aren't planning to get him, or maybe have De Bruyne already. 20% someone else. Palmer or Gordon? Oh, there must be someone else you can bench, Ivan. There must be. If I had to pick one, Palmer, but I really wouldn't want to bench Gordon home to Luton. Yeah, well, Salah's injured, that's it. Klopp said he's going to be out game week 22 and 23, so he should be back for Burnley. Let's refresh, they've updated the double game week fixtures. They haven't. Come on, FPL, sort it out. Alright, I'll have a look at these team IDs. Ideally, guys, this sounds so entitled, but if you put your question in the chat, it's so much easier, because in the background, I'm having to, like, open up the teams, enter your ID, and pull it up. But if you put your question directly in the chat message, then I can stay reading chat and answer it quicker. John says FPL's very slow to update. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't put it in there yet. Like, it's been announced. They must have been ready for it. Let's have a look at your team. So, you've got 2 free transfers. You've got... How much you got in the bank there? 3.5 mil. I would go Chukwuemeka to Gordon, I think is what I'd do there. But it's a bit of a benching nightmare as well, though. I'd probably do Chukwuemeka to Gordon. And then either bench Tony or Saka. I think that's what I would do there. Daniel's got 7.8 mil in the bank. He's top 2k. 2 free transfers. Okay, let's have a look. And you've got, yeah, 7.8 mil in the bank. I would do Alvarez to Haaland. That's what I've done. And I was in the same position with the same amount in the bank. So, yeah, that's what I would do. Alvarez to Haaland. And Dylan says, thoughts on my teams and any changes needed. You've got 2 free transfers. 9.3 mil. Again, I would do Alvarez to Haaland. I think that's a move that makes a lot of sense this week. It's a bit risky. He might not start. Alvarez could start again. You're selling someone who's just got a brace. But that's what I would do if I had the money. Sahel says, merits of Haaland captaincy versus De Bruyne. I've got both. Well, the merits are that Haaland's the goal scorer. De Bruyne's a bit more of a creator. Haaland's on pens. We know what Haaland's about. I think Haaland's a better captain than De Bruyne this week. And probably likely to start. But they might both start. We haven't actually had a look at the FPL Focal Mini League for a while. Here's the standings. Oh, Chai. FPL Chai's top Dylan. 15th in the world he is. Anders is in 2nd, 31st in the world. Eirik, 119th. Halmar, 4th. Via 5th. If anyone's not in the league, links in the description to join and the code. Your points start from Game Week 1 if you want to join the league. In fact, FPL Chai just messaged me, so let me quickly reply to that. He's asking about using the double Game Week graphic. Told him that's fine to use it. Trying to decide which Liverpool defender should I get. I think just Trent's fine. I mean, Robertson's just back from injury, so he's obviously an option. Yeah, he could be great. I think Van Dijk, but I think Trent is enough. We have to be careful because they've got this blank in Game Week 26, Liverpool. And that's why it's kind of an annoying announcement, because you probably want to get Salah, but then you're going to end up with another player that blanks in 26. You can see the fixtures under the players, and the black box is when they blank. So I've got Trent, Pedro Porro, Palmer, Richarlison, all blanking in Game Week 26. So if I buy Salah, that's another one. So it makes it really hard to get through Game Week 26. Because you only got 3 players off your bench, and I've already got, what did I say, 4 or 5 blanking. 5 after I get Salah. So I'll be down 2 players. CFJW says bench Foden, Saka, Palmer or Jota. Out of those 4, it's between Foden and Jota. Probably Foden. Yeah, I'd start Saka and Palmer. It's Foden or Jota. I think Foden would be the one. FPL Fella, how we doing, Dan? He says, thanks for the 10 months, by the way. He says, merits to a free hit in Game Week 25. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an appeal there. Because the whole thing is, as I was saying, is Game Week 26 is a blank. So if you free hit, you can load up on double game week assets. So you could have triple Liverpool, triple City. I don't know if you don't want to have Luton players, Tony. And then you get back to Game Week 26, obviously, and you haven't got those Liverpool players that blank. So yeah, there's definitely appeal there. I'm not sure if I'll do it though. I don't think I will. Probably won't do it because Game Week 29 might be needed. Game Week 29 obviously yet to be confirmed, but this is the potential blanks and the odds from FPL Spaceman. Brighton and City almost definitely blank. Liverpool also almost definitely blank. So that might be a free hit opportunity that's better. Depends on the size of the blank and if any other fixtures drop in. But Game Week 34 is the one that I currently like the most for free hit. The reason being is Game Week 34 is both a blank and a double. So you could free hit to get out your players that don't play. You can load up a starting 11 of players that double. So I quite like Game Week 34 as a free hit week. So I'm not sure if I'll use it in 25. I mean, I've already got 3 players that double then, which isn't bad. 4 if you count Pinnock, but I'm not going to play Pinnock. You can't play Pinnock, can you? Even if he doubles. Because I've got Stupinan against Sheffield United. Trent's got Brentford. Pedro Porro's got Wolves. So there's no room for Pinnock, to be honest, even though he doubles. But I think I'll keep hold of him because he doesn't blank in 29, which will be helpful. I think they play Burnley that week. Yeah, if anyone's joining late and seeing the title of the video, they've announced double Game Week 25 just as we were going live, so that's the double. Akshaya, thanks for the super chat. It says Saka or Foden, who to bench? I would go Foden on the bench between those two. Giles says bench one out of Palmer, Saka, Richarlison and De Bruyne. Oh, I think Foden again. I think I'd say Foden again. Do you guys think Foden's going to get some kind of full rest like Bernardo Silva did at some point? Like, Bernardo Silva plays pretty much every game, but last match obviously he was completely uninvolved, didn't play at all. I reckon there's going to be a week like that coming for Foden at some point. So I think I would put Foden on the bench. Tom says start Turner or Areola in goal. Let's check clean sheet odds. Turner or Areola. West Ham have got... Where are they? 15.5% chance. And Forest... 17%. I mean, nothing between them. The odds favour Turner marginally, but nothing between it, to be honest. But yeah, I'd go Turner. So yeah, welcome all to the stream. Thanks for being here. If you're enjoying this stream so far, then make sure you hit like and make sure you subscribe. Get your questions in the chat. Start Conser or Trent? I think you have to start Trent. I think you can't bench Trent at any point. I know like he's just back from injury, but Trent in my eyes is fixture proof. Like, you have to play him, whoever he's got. If he's playing away at the Etihad, I'd still play him. John says, Oscar, you're 9 points ahead of me. Can't believe it. It's close, John, isn't it? It's neck and neck. What rank are you guys at the moment? What's your current overall rank? Ang's on Captain Gordon. Yeah, let's get a captain poll going. Let us know your live rank as well. The hard thing is picking like which ones to put on the captain poll. I think Solanke, Watkins, Haaland, and other. And if you vote other, message in chat. Carwin's 80k, Mikey's 360k, 2.3 mil. Greg's top 10k. Go on, Greg. How we doing, Victor? Welcome to the stream. Al's 160k. Max 152k, 25k. God, some good ranks in chat today. 248k, 1 mil, 1.5 mil, top 15k. Fair play. Sam says, am I the only one that's got Brereton Diaz? I've not seen him in a single team, so you might well be. To be fair, like 2 goals in 2 games. FPL Mikkel says, Jota and KDB better in the double game week than Salah and a cheaper mid. Yeah, as soon as that double game got announced, that was my exact thinking. And I need to think about that one over the next week. Because De Bruyne makes things a lot easier. A lot easier. Because you've got an extra 2.5 mil or whatever it is. Whereas in my case, it would have to be something like Salah and Garnacho. So is Jota and KDB better than Garnacho and Salah? It's very close, isn't it? I mean, the thing with Jota, he's been absolutely smashing it and he's a great pick. But if Salah's potentially back Game Week 24, then he should be back and fully fit for double Game Week 25. So does Jota play both games? It might be enough if he gets a 90 minutes and then a 30 minutes, for example. Yeah, it's one I'm going to have to think about, Mikkel, over the next week. I actually don't know which one's better right now. It's just scary going into a double game week that good without Salah, because he's going to be heavily captained. He'll be heavily triple captained. Like, I think his effective ownership is going to be over 150%. I would imagine. Ryed says, Captain Dilemma, Gordon or KDB, simply your opinion. I think between the two, I'd go Gordon. Just because... Yeah, I'm just not sure if De Bruyne starts again or not. Do you guys think De Bruyne starts? I think Gordon's safer. I mean, he should be leading the line. He'd probably play striker this one if Isak misses out. Not necessarily a good thing, but he'd probably be playing the most advanced. If Isak misses out again, Wilson we know is injured. Greg reckons De Bruyne starts. What to do with Nkunku? I'd probably get rid of Nkunku, to be honest now. I just think with players like him, back from a long-term injury, I want to see him playing a bunch of games in a row before I even go there. So the fact that he only played 45 minutes last week shows that he's still not quite there yet. And Pochettino said Nkunku will be assessed to determine whether he's ready for a start after 45 minutes midweek. So he might not even start again. Anyway, none of you got it last week. Guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 23? It was Bradley. Of all the players, it was Bradley. What is he, 4 mil? He might have gone up now. 21 pointer from him. Guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 23? Greg says, what's your route back to Salah? I think it will be Bowen to Garnacho, Saka to Salah, and then I think I'll have to go Solanke to someone like Foster. Victor says Bradley's a bargain. Yeah, but Trent's back now, so I wouldn't buy him. Razvan says Pedro Neto. Greg reckons Højlund. Nelson says Gordon. How are we doing, Flames? Welcome to the stream. Trippier, Højlund, Solanke, Nunez, Tavernier, Brennan Johnson, Solanke. Chris Wood. I'm not sure if he's going to start even, is he? I reckon Awani will start. Palmer. Fabian Schär hat-trick. Imagine if he got a hat-trick last week. I saw him on a lot of benches last week. Very unlucky. Gordon, Douglas Luiz. James Anderson. Who even is that? Is that your mate? I don't know who that is. Bernardo Silva, Havertz. Alright, we'll come back to it next week and see if anyone got it anyway. Madison. Yeah, could be. So, 51% are captain Haaland, 19% Watkins, 12% Solanke, and 17% other. So let us know, who's your other? Minion says, what's the Isak update? This is the Isak update. They just said he has a chance of making the squad after limping off midweek, so not much of an update. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses out, to be honest with you. Faisal says, which two to sell? Either Alvarez or Foden. 2 free transfers for Haaland. I'd sell Alvarez between the two. Jeffrey says, got Haaland, but who do I bench? Let's have a peek. I'd bench Foden. Jeffrey. Turge, thanks for the 2 months. Says what to do. Use a transfer or roll it. Let's have a look at your team. Roll it. Yeah, I think roll it. I mean, you're in a nice position there. You've got De Bruyne and Haaland already. The only other thing that you could do is sell one of your Arsenal defenders for a Newcastle defender. Someone like Botman. But I think rolling's perfectly okay there. Espen says start Foden or Sterling. Foden or Sterling. I'd start Sterling. True Fandela says bench one out of Saka, Foden and Bowen. It's between Foden and Bowen. It's just whether Foden starts or not. I've got this gut feeling that he might not this week. But I could be way off with that. I think the sensible thing is you bench Bowen away to Man United. FPL Fella says triple captain in Gameweek 25, Salah or Haaland. I was wondering the exact same. We did a poll just now and Haaland got the most vote. But I do think that's probably because he's in a lot more teams as well. But yeah, if I've got both, I think I might go Salah. This is the double game week. I mean, which is a better pair of fixtures? Surely it's Liverpool's. Surely Liverpool got the better fixture pair there. So they've got Brentford away, Luton home. Luton home. I mean, that's about the best fixture Liverpool have all season. City do have 2 home games though. They've got Chelsea and Brentford. I think Brentford have got it in them to frustrate City. And I'm slightly concerned that'll be the case this week. With Haaland as my captain. They're a physical side. They're organised. I remember when they last played, City took like 29 shots, but it was only something like 1.8 XG. So like low quality shots. I'd say Liverpool's got the better double there though, surely. Would you agree with that? Brentford players will be tired after Liverpool. True. They could be. Yeah, I mean, Flecken's not having a great season, is he? Morning, Thomas. How we doing? Fielder says Liverpool double Gameweek 25 is confirmed. It is indeed, yeah. Thanks very much, Tyler. Appreciate that. Yeah, so the double's confirmed. So, yeah, that's massive. I'm just surprised they announced it so late, to be honest. Like, it had to happen. Because, basically, if Liverpool reached the finals in all the competitions that they're in, then there's no free midweeks to move any postponements to. So that would mean they'd have to have a triple game week later in the season. So logically, they had to have the double game week 25. Like, it had to happen. It's just strange they left it so late to announce, because it's barely like 2 weeks notice for fans. And they said at the start of the season they were going to aim to give 5 weeks. I think is what they said. So yeah, there must have been complications in the background. There's a lot that goes into it in the background, like organising the police and stuff like that. So yeah, who knows? But anyway, we've got it. The announcement is official. Liverpool will double in 25. As will Luton, but it's a pretty naff double for Luton. Vico is on Richarlison captain. Bench Foden, Saka or Gordon? I'd bench Foden out of those 3. Thoughts on benching Saka and playing Bowen? They're pretty close, but I would prefer to start Saka. Haaland in for all his family and friends teams. Did we talk about that? Well, we won't know till after the deadline. That's the thing. We don't get to see their teams before the deadline. But yeah, we'll find out in an hour? No, a couple of hours. We'll see what they did with their teams. Quite a few bought Haaland last week already, actually, so they're already in their teams. It's just whether they captain him or not. FPL mode captain Palmer. Did he actually? Fair play. I mean, as we were saying, there's so many good options this week. I think Palmer's a perfectly fine captain home to Wolves. I think Gordon's fine. I think Solanke, Watkins, Haaland are all good. Lascelles' plan. I mean, if you've still got Lascelles, he's got to be a sell. Because Botman and Cher are both fully fit. So Lascelles is now the backup option, isn't he? Saliba or Colwill? I believe Colwill's going to be out again, so it'd be Saliba. Leek Cruz says bench 2 out of Gabriel Walker, Gasto Porro and Estupiñán. Oh, I mean, you have to bench Gabriel. That one's obvious. I'd say Walker. I'm just not sure if Pep brings him back in now. He might want to keep him out of the spotlight after his off-the-pitch antics over the last week. Or the stuff that's come to light. So I would say bench Gabriel and Walker. And then Walker first on bench. Or at least ahead of Gabriel on your bench. John says, please tell us the ID of Haaland's family team members. If you go to fpl.page, which is my website, it's all there. Completely free website, if you guys aren't aware of this. It's got all sorts like bonus points, top 10k stats, price changes. You can use the fixture ticker. You know, so you could sort by the easiest over the next 5. So City top, Brighton second. There's loads on there. We just rolled out an update. In the top right corner, there's a little maximize icon, so you can also go into a widget. So there's the Players League, and that's got the Haaland's family and his friends and all the footballers that play FPL. Oh yeah, Connor Bradley's on FPL. Does he own himself? Oh, he doesn't. Bradley didn't have himself for his 21-pointer. Who's doing the worst? Jadon Sancho is 8.4 million. I mean, Jordan Bayer made his team Gameweek 1 and forgot about it. Because he's got Kane captain. He's playing the long game there, waiting for Kane to come back to Spurs in like the 2027 season or something. Anyway, yeah, fpl.page, completely free if you want to check out my website. We'll end the captain poll as well, so those are the results. So Haaland's the favourite. Interesting. Start Bowen or Garnacho? I think you have to start Bowen. I think you have to start Bowen there. Are you benching Bowen for Trent? No, I have to play 3 defenders, so Trent has to start for me. I'm not going to start Saliba. I'd rather start Trent. What's going on with Matt Target's team? Target wildcarded last week. Yeah, he activated his wildcard. Target did. Bowen out for Gordon. Yeah, I like that move. I think Gordon's an awesome move this week. I mean, look at the next 3. Luton, Forest, Bournemouth. Bailey going to start? Good question. I mean, last match, I think he came off the bench, didn't he? But against Sheffield United, I think you have to play him. Depends what the rest of your team looks like, but I feel like you have to play him in such a good fixture. Saliba or Colwill, says Dominic. Colwill's almost certainly out for this game. What was it Pochettino said? Let me pull up that update again. Pochettino said Colwill's unlikely to feature, so I would bench him. Are we likely to get Newcastle leaks? It's possible, actually. Yeah, I'll keep checking in the background. I'll keep checking in the background in case there is any leaks. There is, I think there's a Newcastle account that's semi-reliable, but yeah, I'll keep an eye out. There's not been anything yet. Let's have a look at the scout selection then for Gameweek 23. Let us know in chat, how many players have you got this week from the scout? So they've got Leno in goal. They've got Trent, Trippier, Pedro Porro. They've got De Bruyne, Jota, Richarlison, Gordon, Palmer, Haaland captain, and Solanke. Is Nunez injured? He did pick up an injury last match. Klopp said he was stamped on his foot, something like that. And he is a doubt for the game. But there was a photo of him in training, so he might well be alright. Tom's got 6, so's Moose, so's John. A lot of people have got 6, 5. Ash has got 7. Jack's got 8. Mark's got 7. 8 as well for Salah. Salah in the chat. 6, 7. How many have I got? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 myself. I'm surprised they didn't have Watkins in there. I'm surprised there's no Watkins. I would have gone Watkins over De Bruyne potentially. But I guess they would have had a lot of money left over. Colin says, start Garnacho or Foden. Ooh. I think in that situation, you've got to start Foden. He's just a much better asset, isn't he? I mean, Garnacho's great. He's like such an awesome enabler. But he's not consistent with his returns. How do you do the graphic that shows the next 5 fixtures? Do you mean the one under the players on my team? That one's a browser add-on called FPL Tools. I think it's called. Yeah, FPL Tools. It's a browser add-on. Fella says West Ham will sit back at Old Trafford and stifle United. I could see that happening. Start Doughty or Udogie? Has to be Udogie. I know Doughty's an attacking player, but he's away at Newcastle. You're completely counting on an attacking return there. Josh Green says 488k rank. I think he's about 15 minutes behind when I was asking everyone's ranks, but thank you, Josh. Right, poll idea then. So let's pull up the double Gameweek 25 fixtures. And my question for chat and the poll is, are you going to triple captain in Gameweek 25? Are you going to use your triple captain ship in Gameweek 25? Yes or no? That's the poll. Salah, thanks for the super chat. Says bench 1 out of Foden, Saka, Richarlison and Gordon. Out of those 4, I would bench Foden. Very close. Like, yeah, that's a benching dilemma for sure, but I would go Foden. Because you at least know the other 3 definitely start. And I think Foden's pretty close in terms of how he'll do if he starts. So therefore, logically, bench Foden. Is this confirmed, says Benjamin? This is confirmed. This literally got announced as we were going live. So luckily I already made the graphic in advance just in case it got announced. Because I was fully expecting it to be announced like earlier in the week. So I made it early just in anticipation of that. And I thought we weren't going to get the announcement anymore. Like since the deadline day had rolled around. But yeah, it's official. So Liverpool now doubling 25. Along with Luton, City and Brentford. So yeah, that's going to be a big week, that one now. Especially in terms of captaincy, Salah or Haaland. Willem says, how many transfers did you make? I had 2 transfers and I made 1, which was Alvarez to Haaland. Goose, thanks for the super chat. Thanks very much for that. By the way, if anyone's not following me on TikTok or Instagram, I've just started posting TikToks. So I'm doing like one every game week now. So same username, just fplfocal if you're on TikTok. I'm doing like very short videos under 60 seconds of like everything you need to know about the game week. So yeah, who uses TikTok? I think most people do nowadays, don't they? It is dangerously addictive, isn't it? Like when you're bored, you just open it and swipe and swipe and swipe. Flames hasn't seen any leaks yet. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out in case there's any last minute leaks. What's the first game today? Is it Newcastle? Oh no, it's Everton v Spurs. Oh, what do you reckon the result's going to be there? Do you reckon Spurs win that? Not an easy game away at Everton. Richarlison against his old team. Free hit 25. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Sean. It's definitely an option. Because the problem is, Liverpool blank in Game Week 26. They still haven't updated the fixtures under the players. Because Liverpool blank in 26, so you could free hit in triple Liverpool. And then when you get back to your team before in Game Week 26, where you don't have these Liverpool assets. So it's definitely an option. Mikey says I'm old, I don't have TikTok. I mean, I never thought I'd get it, but then I got it, and it is. I can see why it's really popular. I also post on shorts as well, same thing as TikTok. What were we saying? Yeah, so it's an option for sure, but basically the question is, are there better weeks where you'll gain more points? Like Game Week 29, we know is going to be a big blank game week. So if you get to Game Week 29, you've got 6 or 7 players. Like this at the moment. Based on the bookies odds, there's projected to be 4.8 fixtures. So only 10 teams playing, or less than that. And it all depends on the FA Cup results, which will be played at the end of February. So in like about 4 weeks' time, just under. So the likes of City, Liverpool, Brighton, we've all got assets from these teams, will almost certainly blank in Game Week 29. So that's a free hit opportunity. And then there's Game Week 34 that we mentioned earlier, which is a double and a blank. So you could free hit a team of 11 players that all double. There's quite a few ways you could go. And obviously Game Week 37 is the biggest double of the season, so that's also an option. Loads of good weeks to use it, and it's not clear what the best one is. Dan says, looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at FPL Meets. I can't wait as well. I'm buzzing for it. It's been ages since I've been to the last one. If anyone lives in London, or just outside, there's an FPL meetup in a couple of weeks' time in London that I'm going to be at. So at FPL Meets on Twitter, it's got the details. Goose says, love the content. Would you start Saka or Foden? I would start Saka between those two. Yeah, we were talking about Foden just now. I would start Saka between the two. Yazan says, hello, need help. Tweeted my questions on your live now post on Twitter. Thanks a lot. Let me try and find that. Which one was it? The best 5 mil defender? You could have put why have you put it on my live? You could have put it in your message. Which one's your question? On my live now post. I'm looking at it now and there's only 2 replies. One says best 5 mil defender. One is okay, so it has to be that one. The other one's a photo of me and Andy. Best 5 mil defender. Stupinan is annoyingly just over, so I suppose it would be a Newcastle defender because they've got a nice run of games ahead. It's a bit annoying they play Arsenal Game Week 26, but 4 of the next 5 games you'd be happy playing someone like Botman, so I'd say Botman or Burn. Shorte says Burn, but like, does Livramento get a game at some point? Might not happen. Maybe Botman's a bit more reliable for starts, so I'd say Botman. John says, Oscar, if I go FPL Meets, will you buy me a pint? That's a deal, John. I'll buy you a pint, mate. You got a deal there. There's an announcement coming as well for next season's FPL Fest, or whatever it's called. And I know you left early last time, John, because they didn't have the games on TV. And this time they will. This time they will have the games on TV. Richarlison or Gordon for Bowen? Gordon. Morning, Slaughter. How we doing? Good to see you in chat. Will Isaac start? I think he doesn't. It's a late fitness test. They're going to have to assess him, but I won't be surprised if he misses out. Newcastle press conferences are basically just complete lies. They'll say one thing and it's the opposite. So when they say, like, it's a late fitness test, he's probably out for the game. lot of questions about Haaland whenever he starts. I've got the predicted lineup from Alex MCFC. We looked at it last week as well. He gives his justifications on Twitter as well, and I do like his write-ups. He gives like a lot of thought into it and writes through his reasoning, and he puts percentages by each player and whether they start or not. He's got Haaland as 50% himself. He's got De Bruyne 55%. He's given Foden 85%. Anyone else of note? He reckons Walker comes back into the team, interestingly. Vardy, Ake, Ruben Diaz, Walker is his predicted back line, but not the highest odds against Ruben and Walker. Novus, thanks for the 16 months. Says, I've got Ariel and Turner. Roll or transfer in another keeper. Depends how the rest of your team's looking, Novus, because I think those transfers are going to be more valuable for something else, unless you're really well set up in terms of the double game week already. In case you haven't seen it, there is a double game week 25 that's just been announced. Liverpool now doubling 25 as well, so I'll be surprised if teams are well set up for that double already. I feel like you're going to want to spend transfers directly towards that double, whether it's on more City players or bringing Salah back, maybe someone like Darwin or Tony. But maybe you are well set up, and you could consider someone like Edison or Alisson if you want to spend the money in your goalkeeper spot. But otherwise, no, I wouldn't. Adam, thanks for the super chat. Says, hi Focal, bench one out of Gabriel, Gusto or Bowen. I'd bench Gabriel out of those three. I'd be surprised if Arsenal keep a clean sheet to Liverpool myself. Yeah, we normally have music playing. Maybe it's a bit louder today. FPL Harry fan says, Harry ain't replying, so I'm coming here. Salah to Jota and Archer to Haaland. The problem is, like, as Liverpool just had a double game at 25 announced, so do you really want to sell Salah now? I think that's fine to do that, as long as you've got a route back to him. Because obviously Haaland's better this week because Salah won't play, so I think that makes sense. It makes sense, and obviously getting Jota who does double. But this is the thing, like, maybe we'll be okay without getting Salah back in. You know, if you've got someone like Jota, Darwin, that might be enough if they're complemented with De Bruyne and Haaland, for example. So yeah, I think I would do that, Ange. I think those are fine moves. Yeah, good moves. That was the wrong post. Where's your team, though? I can't see it. Was it the other one? I can't find it. I mean, the best thing to do is to send your ID. But ideally, with IDs, it does get a bit messy because I have to, like, jump around in the background, entering IDs and stuff. So the ideal way is to put your questions in directly in the chat message. Obviously, I want to answer like every question as best I can, but I know from like everyone else's viewer perspective, if I'm like hopping around between teams, that can be a bit annoying. Maybe not. Let me know if you guys don't mind that or not, if I'm like looking at lots of teams. If you don't mind, then I'm happy to do it that way. That was just what I thought anyway. Maybe it's easiest in the message. But yeah, I couldn't find your tweet. Sorry, Yazam. Althez, why can't I make profit on the players I sell? You get 0.1 mil profit for every 0.2 mil they rise. So if they've only gone up 0.1, that's why. You don't mind it? Okay, fair enough. That's fine then. Yeah, you get 0.1 mil profit for every 0.2 they rise. So like, I brought in Haaland last night and he's gone up to 14.1. I can only sell him for 14 mil. He needs to go up to 14.2 and then I can sell him for 14.1. Alfie says, based on the City lineup prediction, is it worth taking a -4 to take Alvarez and Bowen out for Foden and Haaland? Love the content, keep it up, mate. Don't know if that's worth a -4. I'd probably do that, but yeah, I don't know if it'll be repaid this week. But if you're going to captain Haaland, then I would say go for it, Alfie. Especially if you're going to captain Haaland. I think it's easier to justify hits when you're going to go and captain that player as well. But that is just a prediction from one person. Like, I have to caveat it. But he does put a lot of thought into his post, so I quite like to include his write-ups and his graphics. Porro went up by 0.4, but I'm not making profit. You definitely will. Are you sure? Are you on the app or the website? Maybe it's bugging out. Yeah, I would do that, Alfie, if you're going to captain Haaland. Yeah, if Porro's gone up 0.4, you definitely make profit selling. It'll be 0.2 mil profit, though. So, like, if we go to the transfers page, because I think I've got similar profit on Porro myself. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's this... Can you see there? It says list. So you can see the price you bought players at. I know it doesn't fit in very well there, but... So you've got CP current price, SP sell price, and PP purchase price. So Pedro Porro, I bought him for 5.3. His current price is 5.9. I can sell him for halfway between that, 5.6. You should definitely be able to cash in profit if he's gone up 0.4. Is Gordon Newcastle striker now? I think he probably will be against Luton. He definitely will be if Isak misses out. So immature, aren't we? PP. Will Elise start? Yeah, he should do. Based on what Hodgson said, it sounds like he's going to be fine. He was asked about Elise and he said Michael Elise is okay. He was substituted as a precaution. So I'd say it's pretty promising. Right, let's play a little game. I've got a question for everyone in chat and it's name the player. And if anyone gets it, I'm going to drop 5 memberships in chat. You got to name the player and the season that they got this score. So I need the player and the season. And if anyone guesses it, I'll drop 5 memberships in chat right now. This is one of the worst FPL scores of all time. One of the most infamous ones as well. Don't mind me putting deodorant on. Oh, people have got it already. Shawcross, Walters, Bednarek, Walters, Shawcross 2018, 2011, 12. Okay, fine. That must have been an easy one. Well played if you all got it. I mean, a lot of you did. Not all of you, obviously, but it was Jonathan Walters, and this is probably the most unfortunate Premier League game in history. It was 2012-13. It was game week 22 against Chelsea. In the first half, Ivanovic crosses a ball in when he was at Chelsea, and Walters accidentally puts in his own goal. And then in the second half, Mata whips in a corner, and it hits Walters, and it goes in his own goal again, 2 own goals. And then at the end of the game, Stoke win a penalty, 2-0 down, I think it was. And it was like 90th minute. Walters on for a consolation goal, and he doesn't score the penalty. So he scores 2 own goals, and he misses a penalty for -4 points. That is unlucky. That is one of the most unlucky games I've ever seen. That's the graphic of how the game looked back then. So 2 own goals. He played 90 minutes, 2 own goals, 1 missed penalty, -4 points. 6.6 mil midfielder. He was in 8.3% of teams, apparently. That is brutal. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. That is so harsh. Just dreadful luck, isn't it? Oh yeah, so the memberships. Almost scammed chat then. There we go. Memberships are coming. They get allocated at random, so it could go to anyone in chat. It goes to people that are active in chat. I think that's how they do it. And they're in. So, congrats Tushar, Alfie, Abdel, R. Kelly, and Darwin Nunez in the chat. Darwin, are you playing this game week? There's a lot of people who've got you in their teams. Yeah, worst one's Bednarek, who... did you see that? I tweeted it like yesterday. I literally just thought of it a few days before. I was like, oh, that's coming up, isn't it? And I tweeted it, and it got something like 13,000 likes. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, FPL Fella says, from Mrs. Fella, would you do Gross to Gordon? It's a little bit sideways, but it depends, Dan, like what she could use other transfers on if not making that move. Because obviously Gameweek 25 is such a big factor now. Like it is an upgrade, definitely, for the next few weeks. But it depends if that transfer could go to better use, like getting a double Gameweek 25 player. So it's kind of hard to say about knowing the full team. Because now we've got Liverpool also doubling in 25. Our transfers are going to have to be geared towards that. But yeah, I like that move. It's an upgrade for sure. But you'll have to have a look at her team and just check about the doubles in 25. And how that affects that week. Because obviously if it means a -4 further down the line, then suddenly it's not such a good transfer. Out says, thanks man, showing me the list tab really helped. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. You can look at that and see what you bought them for, what you can sell for, and what their current price is. Stack Band says, 1 free transfer, should I roll or bring in Haaland? I mean, if you can do something like Alvarez to Haaland in one move, I would do it. I would do it. Anchit says, need a -8 this game for Haaland, should I go ahead? Nah, not for a -8. I don't think for a -8 that's worth it. Just do it in Game Week 24. Nick 0SP says, any suggestions on an additional transfer? Let's have a look. So you've got 1 free transfer. When you say additional, have you made one already? Oh, you had Adebayo. Oh, fair play. Excuse me. You've got 13.2 million in the bank. You're rich. 13.2 million in the bank. You're a millionaire. I would go Wood to Haaland. That's what I would do. You can afford that, can't you? Yeah. Yeah, I'd go Wood to Haaland. Unless that's what you've done already. You don't need to make another move for a -4. Yeah, I don't think there's any other moves worth a hit. So, Wood to Haaland. So you got 13.2. So how much does that leave you in the bank? I don't think you can afford to... Nah. I would just do that. Wood to Haaland. That's what I would do there. Stefan says, start Saka, Bowen or Foden in the midfield 4. Or shall I start with a back 4 with Burn and bench 2 of those midfielders? In which case, which 2? Yeah, that's tough. I think I'd start the midfielders. I'll start the midfielders, Saka, Burn, Foden. They're just way more upside than Burn, aren't they? Like, I think Burn, he does get the very occasional attacking return, but you have to start those Saka, Bowen, Foden, I would say, just because they're way higher upside. Chase the upside. I feel like Burn's 6 points max, realistically. Start Palmer or Tony? Palmer. Captains this week. Yeah, we'll do Captain Poll in a sec. I mean, these are the top projected points for those that are wondering how FPL Review is faring. So, we had the poll earlier. Are you going to use your triple captain in Game Week 25? 55% yes. 45% no. Interesting. John says, Oscar, hold the stream. He's going to make a cup of tea. Alright, we'll all wait here for you, John. Once you've done your tea, let us know. And we'll carry on with the stream. Palmer or Saka? Palmer. What to do with Bernardo? Bernardo's a hold. I think if anything, now Bernardo's had his full rest, I think he's perfectly fine to hold. I mean, you never know with Pep, but I'd say now he's had that rest, I think he's perfectly okay. Jade says, Solanke captain for us non-owners. Yeah, I think Solanke's an awesome captain. I mean, you can see he's actually slightly ahead as the top for projected points this game week. What I will say, you can see you can enter expected minutes for players. I entered 70 for Haaland, so that could be wrong. That's just an estimate. If he starts, maybe he comes off at 70 minutes. If he plays 80, for example, then I think he'd move top, just above Solanke. But the risk is obviously he could play 20, 30 minutes off the bench, and then he becomes a bad captain. And they do play on Monday, so there is a nice turnaround for City there as well. So perhaps that helps Haaland's case as well on his return from injury. Jay, how we doing? He says, hey mate, should I start Zinchenko over Gabriel? Also, how are you planning to navigate through Gameweek 26, mate? I've got Palmer, Porro and Trent. Yeah, I'm going to have to rethink what I'm going to do for 25 now, and obviously 26 as well, because Liverpool not doubling in 25 would have made life a lot easier, because they blank in 26, and it's such a good double for Liverpool in 25. Start Zinchenko over Gabriel, yeah, for sure. In terms of the next few weeks, it'll probably be Bowen to Garnacho. I might do Saka to Salah. And then to fund that, I'll have to do Solanke to Foster, something like that. That'll probably be me over the next few weeks. I've used one transfer, so I'll have 2 free transfers next week in Gameweek 24. So that might just be Bowen to Garnacho to tee it up. And then I might make 3 moves from -4 in Gameweek 25. But yeah, it might equate to a -4 in 26 now, because I'll have 5 players potentially blank him. So yeah, it's difficult. It's going to be a difficult week, but that might be the situation now. I think there's going to be lots of hits in 25 and 26. Hope that helps. I don't mind hits in a double game week and a blank especially when you can't play 11 players. As they say, a -4 in a blank game week is a -2 if you don't have 11. As the old cliche goes. Porro or Cash? Porro. Haaland starting? I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because I'm going to captain him. He just looked so lively last match. He's been out for a long time. He's been in training for weeks. Like, we've seen photos weeks ago of him in training. And there is a nice turnaround again. They play on Monday. So it's also something to cheer on Monday, isn't it? Monday Night Football. Something to actually cheer on. Haaland captaincy. Scouser says, do you think Haaland gets 60 plus minutes? I think he does personally. It's a risky call, but like it's a game of risks, isn't it? And if you take on that risk this week and he starts, it's the last real opportunity where Haaland's not going to be heavily captained, if you see what I'm saying. Like Everton at home, Gameweek 24, he's going to be the most popular captain, isn't he? And in Gameweek 25, again, he's going to be extremely popular captain in the double game week. This week, it's a little bit risky, but I think that's an opportunity because some people aren't willing to take on that risk. So they'll be going for the likes of Watkins, Solanke, who, by the way, are great options as well. Don't get me wrong, they're great as well. As we saw on those projected points, it's very close between them all. So, yeah, that's my thinking with that. It's an opportunity. Just like last week, I don't know if you guys were in last week's deadline stream, but we had a last minute leak that De Bruyne was going to start. That was an opportunity. In the end, I think he only got like 7 points. But that was an opportunity. And we had that leak that Haaland wasn't going to start. So that was an opportunity to captain Alvarez. I still bottled it last week because I just wasn't sure like how many minutes he'd get. But you know, there's all these little opportunities if you really look closely each week. And I think Haaland's an opportunity for that reason. Start Raya or Turner. I'll pull up the clean sheet odds. These are from checkthechance.com. So if anyone's got like a keeper dilemma or 2 defenders, then base it on that. What was your one? I've lost it. Raya or Turner. Arsenal 27% chance of a clean sheet. Forest 17. So start Turner. For the goalkeeper dilemmas, I just go on the clean sheet odds. Or when they're like dead even or 1%, then just go with your gut because it's just nothing between them. But yeah, in that case, it's like 10% difference. So I'd play Turner. Sorry, I play Raya. Yeah, the other way around. Sorry, Luna. I'd play Raya because he's got better clean sheet odds. John's back with his tea. Thanks, John. We've been waiting for you. Conser or Gabriel? Conser, Jordan. 100% Conser. He's got Sheffield United. Gabriel's got Liverpool. Yeah, I'd go Conser there for sure. Start Saka or Foden? I mean, that's a close one, but I would say Saka. Oh, sorry, Heike. He said, hi, Oscar. Bowen or Ødegaard out for Jota or Gordon? Yeah, that's a good question, that one. Now that we've had the double announced for Liverpool, I feel like Jota makes more sense. Jota, by the way, has got a very good record against Arsenal. He's played them in the league 10 times. 6 goals, 1 assist. So he does love a goal against Arsenal. I know that one as an Arsenal fan. He often seems to get something against us. And I think Jota makes more sense with the double game week now in Game Week 25. If anyone's joining late, we had an official announcement, double Game Week 25, while we were live. So that's the Game Week 25 doubles now confirmed for those 4 teams. In terms of Bowen or Ødegaard, I suppose Bowen makes more sense because he's got 2 tough games ahead, right? I know Ødegaard's kind of has Liverpool this week, but then he's got West Ham. And obviously Bowen's playing against Arsenal, so I'd say Ødegaard's got the better fixtures, so I would go Bowen. I'd probably also look to sell Ødegaard around 25. FC8 Sean says, hi Focal, who would you bench out of Solanke, Foden and Richarlison? If it's too hard, you don't have to answer. I'll definitely answer, but yeah, that is a hard one. I would go Foden out of those 3. You definitely play Solanke. Like, Solanke shouldn't be on any benches this week. And Richarlison, like, he's banging in form. What's he got, like 7 goals in his last 7 games? I'd go Foden. And you know that Solanke and Richarlison definitely start. It's not guaranteed for Foden. I know those of you that are playing him will hope he does. And he probably does. But for that reason, I would bench Foden out of those 3. Sean, thanks for that. Sterling or Saka? Well, that's a tough one, that one. I'm trying to think about Arsenal bias, but I think Saka. I mean, that's 50-50. Go be gut on that one, but probably Saka. Just about. Gabriel Gusto. Foden or Bernardo Silva? That's who to start this week. I suppose Bernardo Silva's had his rest, so I'd go there. Transfer plans and captaincy, asked Peter. I've sold Alvarez for Haaland. Haaland captain. In fact, I'll quickly tweet my team before I forget. Let's take the screenshot. Game week. What transfers did you guys make this week? Not Game week 26. Game week 23. Alvarez. What moves have you guys made? Oh. J.Alvarez. That's what they call him on this game, don't we? There we go. Haaland capped him. Shara's rolling. See, Bridges done Jesus to Haaland and Bowen to Garnacho. Very nice. Timothy, how we doing, mate? He says, I've got Solanke and Watkins in attack. I've got Saka, Palmer, Eze, Richarlison with Foden in midfield. Should I roll or bring in Haaland? Watkins cap. Who's your third striker, Tim? That's the big question. Because Solanke and Watkins aren't sells for me this week. I know that Haaland's so appealing, but I wouldn't sell Solanke or Watkins with the fixtures they've got. So it depends who your third forward is and if you can afford to go from then to Haaland. You must have a lot in the bank though, if that's your midfield. Yeah, if you can sell your third forward to Haaland, I would do it, Tim. but if selling Solanke and Watkins is your only way, then I wouldn't do it. In terms of captaincy, yeah, I'd say it's so close between Watkins and Solanke. I think Watkins just edges it for me if I had to pick between Watkins and Solanke. Just about. It's very close though. Watkins, I'd say, has got a slightly better fixture. I think they're going to respond to the loss to Newcastle. But Solanke's on pens and he's got the home fixture. It's very, very close, but I'd say Watkins just about. B says Richarlison to Jota and João Pedro to Watkins. I don't know if I'd want to sell Richarlison in the form he's in. Like, he's given you no reason to sell. And Jota's got Arsenal away. No, I wouldn't do that, B. Captain Poll says, Ben, good shout. Let's do a captain poll. We've got about half an hour till the deadline. Who's your captain for Game Week 23? So we'll have Solanke, we'll have Watkins, we'll have Haaland and other. And if you go for other, message and chat. Oh, FPL Juice with the 5 gifted. Thanks very much, lads. Shout FPL Juice. Thanks for that. They went to Ben, Rashid, Oyvind, Orb and Mike. Appreciate that, guys. We'll head over your way afterwards. If you guys aren't subscribed to FPL Juice, go and give them a subscription. Very good FPL podcast, and they're one of the very few that record in studios as well, so it's a really good show. Yeah, we'll head over your way afterwards. Well, we were planning to come over and raid you guys anyway, so we'll see you very soon. Tim says Archer third striker and 9 mil in the bank, so you can't quite afford it then, right? Have you got 1 free transfer or 2, Tim? I don't think you said. I would roll. I mean, you asked should I roll, so you got 1 free transfer. So I wouldn't do it for a -4. I would just roll, Tim. Joshua says bench boost. Not this week. I mean, my bench isn't great. Pinnock's got City. Saliba's got Liverpool. I mean, it could be an option 25, but then you can't bench boost. That's the problem, isn't it? Justin says Rashford hat-trick. You reckon? He's in form again, isn't he? He's doing well, but yeah, I don't think he's in many managers thinking it because there's other options and the double's coming up. In terms of the goal scorer odds, this week Haaland is top. The odds assume that the player starts, of course. So 53% for Haaland. Wilson 46%. Watkins, Isak. Obviously Wilson won't start. Isak's a doubt. Solanke's up there. I mean, Watkins only a couple of percent ahead of Solanke. But Haaland is top of the goal scorer odds if he starts. Darwin also up there if he starts. Matthew, thanks for the 15 months. He's chucked his ID. Let's go have a look at your team. I love how you just chuck your ID. Like, no context, nothing. Just an ID. Bosh. There you go. Have a look at that. Right. So you've got 2 free transfers and you've got 3.1 mil in the bank. 3.1? Yeah, 3.1 mil in the bank. Yeah, that's difficult actually. So you could make 2 transfers, sell Salah to a cheaper mid, and then sell Alvarez to Haaland. That's one option. Just not sure what else you could do other than that. Like, Taylor out is an option, but that's a bit boring and you wouldn't start him anyway, because this week you go Stupinan, Pedro, Porro, Trent in your back 3. So you could go a bit aggressive and sell Salah, but then who would I buy? Maybe Jota, Salah and Alvarez to Jota and Haaland. I just check that you can get back to Salah in Game Week 25, for example, by selling Saka and maybe downgrading Solanke. That might be what I'd do. Yeah, that's a difficult one actually. A bit of a puzzle, that team, because it's a nice team and it's already well set up, and you've got 2 free transfers. You don't want to burn it. So those are the two routes I can see. One is selling Taylor, just to get yourself set up nicely for Game Week 26, assuming that he might still be out. And obviously Game Week 29 as well, if you want to think that far ahead. Or downgrade Salah and upgrade Alvarez to Haaland. Hope that helps. The Busted Flush says Saka, Jota, Gordon, Richarlison, Palmer, bench 1. Ooh. Out of all of those, I'd say Jota. Out of those 5. Yeah, difficult one. I mean, Saka's got the home fixture. He does generally do better at home as well, so I'd rather start Saka, but it's very close. Jonathan says, Captain, Watkins, Solanke, De Bruyne, Gordon, Palmer. Out of those 5, I would say Watkins, Captain, Solanke, Vice. I mean, Watkins is my Vice, so I think he's probably the best out of those 5. It's very close this week, though. Like, there's so many good options. I mean, look at the captain poll. It's pretty divided. Loads of people voted other. In fact, other's the second most popular option. But yeah, I'd go Watkins and then Solanke Vice. Yazan says, finally, he's got his ID. And he got Haaland this week. Okay, let's have a look. I always forget, but if you guys have enjoyed the stream so far, then drop the stream a like and make sure you're subscribing. Appreciate your support. So this is Yazan's team. So you start Pedro Porro. You've already got Haaland. So who did you bring in? You got 9.7 million in the bank. So did you sell Archer then? Did you have exact money for that? Oh, you did it last night with exact money, right? And you've got one other transfer, but you don't need to spend it. So you bench Bowen. You start Pedro Porro for Gabriel. And that's it, right? Haaland starts. Bowen drops to the bench. Gabriel drops to the bench for Pedro Porro. Yeah, roll the second transfer. That's it. And obviously start Dubravka, home to Luton, and bench Areola. Nice team. ADS says bench 1 of Foden, Bowen and Gross. I think you have to start Bowen and you have to start Foden. So I would bench Gross. First on bench. There's a lot of benching dilemmas this week. A lot. Fantasy Football Chronicles, thanks for the super chat. Says, hi folk, we've got 2 free transfers and I owned Haaland. Any suggestions? Cheers, mate. Let's have a peep at your team. So this is Fantasy Football Chronicles team. And what did you say you did? You already got Haaland, yeah. Oh, you've got a red flag bench there. So you've got how many free transfers? 2 free transfers. Yeah. I think selling Son probably makes the most sense here. I'd sell Son. Yeah. What if you did Son to Gordon and Tsimikas to Trent? Can you afford that? 0.4 mil in the bank. Can you afford that? That might be a nice move. And then that lets you bench Zinchenko. And I mean, Darwin's a doubt. That's the problem. Like, you probably don't want to take that chance because you've got no one on your bench. So you could do Son to Gordon, Tsimikas to Trent, and that gives you another player that doubles in 25 as well. Plus you've got Gordon home to Luton, which is much nicer than Darwin away to Arsenal. And Darwin is a flag. I think that's what I would do there. Fix the flags. Address the areas in your team that are problems first. So you get rid of 2 flag players there. Captain poll results. 54% Haaland. 17% Watkins. 14% Solanke. It's so divided this week. 16% other. That is crazy. What did I see about third striker? Did I miss a message there? Nick says, I've got no idea who to bench or captain this week. Let's have a look. It's very close captaincy, but if you've got Watkins and Solanke, in your case you haven't got Solanke, I think I'd go Watkins captain, Solanke vice, but it's so close. Like if you've got a feeling about a player, then go with it because it's so close in terms of the projections. Who to bench or captain? Yeah, I mean maybe you bench Tony here. You have to start Gordon. So who do you bench, Saka or Tony? Probably Tony. Tony first on bench. Not ideal, I understand that, but I mean he has got City, and then you start Gusto in place of Saliba. And yeah, I'd start Areola, bench Fleckham. In terms of captain, I would go Watkins. Wait, did you have Haaland? Oh, you did, sorry, Haaland. Haaland captain, Watkins vice. That's what I would do there. Right, we've got 20 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming. Bench Foden or Bowen? I think you have to bench Bowen there, just about. Very close, that one. But I'd say Bowen. Areola or Pickford? If you've got any keeper dilemmas, I would go with the clean sheet odds. That's how they look for this week. So what was it? Areola or Pickford? West Ham 15.5% chance of a clean sheet. Everton 22. So I'd play Pickford. Start Gusto or Trent? I think despite the tougher fixture, I'd still rather start Trent. That is a close one, but I mean Trent, it just feels like a player you never bench. He's one of those players, you just never bench him. Kenny D says, KDB, Gordon, Palmer, then Diaz or Ødegaard. Then Diaz or Ødegaard. In terms of who you're starting, I think it's very close. I'd go Ødegaard. He's got the home fixture. I know Diaz did pretty well last week or the week before, but I'd start Ødegaard there. Oh yeah, let's check if there's been any leaks. I don't actually know. I haven't checked. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it. Nah, nothing. I mean, it's Spurs that play first. We don't really tend to get any early Spurs news. We might have something for Everton, but that's not very helpful because we don't really have any Everton players. Douglas Luiz or Saka? That is a good one. That is close. I mean, Douglas Luiz against Sheffield United, Saka against Liverpool. Probably Saka just about. Yeah, it's not ideal benching Douglas Luiz, but I'd say Saka. Bench Saka or Foden? Bench Foden. Bench Garnacho or Bowen? Garnacho. Saka to KDB for a -4? Nah, not for a hit well. Should I captain Watkins? Yeah, I think Watkins is a perfectly good captain this week, yeah. Thoughts on Doku? Yeah, I mean, Doku's an interesting one. I might end up with him in Gameweek 25. But obviously he's like a big rotation risk. He's competing with Grealish for that left wing spot. But he's such a selfish player, which is a good thing from an FPL perspective. I don't mind a selfish player in FPL. A greedy player just shoots on sight and they're likely to get your points. So I don't mind Doku. I don't know if I'll go there. Maybe in 25, but I think he's a wait and see for now. I think he's someone you consider in Gameweek 25, but just wait until then and have the most up-to-date information. Like, imagine if Grealish picks up an injury just before 25. Suddenly Doku becomes one of the best City picks. John says, Oscar, why are you not captaining Watkins? I mean, it's so close this week, but I just think it's an opportunity of Haaland. Like, we know what an explosive player he is. He can haul massive in any week. And it's a week where people are uncertain if he starts. So I think that's an opportunity. If he does start, then you've got more to gain because people are going to be captaining elsewhere. So I just think it's an opportunity to go for Haaland. Game week 24, everyone's going to be on Haaland captain for the most part, home to Everton. And then game week 25, in the double, loads of people are going to be on him again. I guess there is a bit of a divide with Salah there, but I just think it's maybe a risk worth taking on this week. If he doesn't start, as Appinator says, then yeah, that's bad. Hope he does something off the bench. I mean, he looked really lively last game. He looked super hungry. And it's a nice turnaround. They play on Monday. So what is that, another 5 days? In between games? Man City team news. Asked Edward. All Pep said was that everyone is fit. Everybody's ready. He was asked about Haaland, and that was his response. So everybody's fit, basically. So no injuries. Clean bill of health for Pep for this game. So yeah, it becomes very hard to predict the 11 as well. But back to Pep Roulette. The Pep Roulette era is back, unfortunately. Don't know who's going to start. Slap It for Retail says 2 free transfers. De Bruyne to Son. You mean Son to De Bruyne? You got your arrows the wrong way around. Or Haaland, Jensen to Son and Alvarez for -4. Hang on, let me check your team here. I think you meant the other way, right? This is your team. So you've got 6.1 mil in the bank. And you said Jensen. Why Jensen? Because of the double. No, I'd sell Son for someone better than that. Why not? I mean, what if you did Son to Garnacho to give yourself the money to get Salah for 25? That could be the way to go. Even if it means benching him this week. Son to Garnacho, Alvarez to Haaland, and then you'll have loads of money in the bank to work out how you're going to get to Salah. Or maybe you won't want to get Salah, you might want to get Jota, but you'll have loads of money to play around with. That could be the way to go. And you'd have Garnacho first on bench. I prefer that to Jensen myself. I mean, Jensen's fine. Like, I know he's got the double in 25, but I'm not sure how much he is. But I think Garnacho is a nice option for 4.8 mil. Nice fixtures. Yeah, that's what I would do. Are you guys going to own both Haaland and Salah in 25? Or are you committed to just one of the two? Or are you going to end up with De Bruyne and Haaland, for example? Could Conor Bradley be a good replacement for Trent so I can afford Salah? Nah, Trent will come back into the team. It'll probably be next game even, to be honest with you. FPL1 says Haaland in for Watkins and Captain Haaland. I need to free up money for future game weeks. The other option is Haaland and Garnacho for Mubama and Palmer/Bernardo. No, I wouldn't sell Watkins. I don't think Watkins is a sell this week. I mean, he's one of the best captains. If I didn't have Haaland, I'd captain Watkins. So I wouldn't do that. Watkins is a hold this week. I know it's Haaland, but I mean, Watkins could easily match him or outscore him even. So I would look to do that move in Game Week 24. As H says, hi Oscar, please choose one to bench. Saka, De Bruyne, Richarlison, Palmer, Gordon. Is there no one else you can bench? I suppose it has to be Saka. You can't bench De Bruyne. Richarlison's banging form. You can't bench Palmer home to Wolves. You can't bench Gordon home to Luton. So, I mean, it has to be Saka, I suppose. Yeah. Alexi says, I've already bought Haaland instead of Mubama. Should I buy Gordon instead of who? Or save the second transfer? Any other advice for future planning? Let's have a look at your team. So you've bought Haaland already. You don't need to spend a second transfer, I would say. I mean, in terms of future planning, so you probably want to get back to Salah, ideally. You've got Haaland. You've got 12 mil in the bank. It depends what your route back to Salah is. I assume you've sold Mubama, so you could do something like... You could do something like Bowen to Gordon. if that frees up enough money to help get you back to Salah. But I don't think you have to spend a second transfer here. Like, Bowen's fine. But yeah, you could consider Bowen to Gordon as well. I think that'd be a nice move to help free up money you need. And also, you don't have Trent. I think you want to have Trent as well, ideally. Ideally, you want to have Trent and Salah for Gameweek 25. But Jota and Trent, for example, might be enough. So just consider that Gordon move. Oh, Dan, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Thanks very much, Dan. Appreciate that. Thanks for that, Dan. Daniel got one. JJ, E, Alex. Tami Dur got one. Polypoke. Harry, Connor, Cooper. If you got one of them, make sure you say cheers to Dan for that. Informed that Trippier's made it through and is in the squad. Fair enough. Taran says, should I bring in Haaland for Watkins, as I can only afford that? Nah, I really don't think Watkins is a sell this week before Sheffield United. I know it's Haaland, but we were saying just now, like, Watkins, he's among the top projections this week on review. These are the Gameweek 23 projections on FPL review. I mean, Watkins is as good as top. Haaland, with 70 minutes, is very slightly below. So, Watkins, I mean, this week, based on the projections, it's sideways. I know it could go differently, like, Sheffield United could give them a tough game, Haaland could haul. But it could easily go the other way. So, it's not an upgrade, it's pretty sideways. So, no, I wouldn't sell Watkins this week. Should I bench Saka, Foden, Alvarez, or Gross? I guess you can't bench the City players, so I'd bench Gross. If I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if one of Foden or Alvarez don't start, but I would. I'd bench Gross because you don't want to pick the wrong one, do you? Start Konsa or Gabriel? Ask Polypoke. I would start Konsa for sure. Sheffield United, while Gabriel's got Liverpool. Right, we've got 10 minutes till deadline, so make sure you've got your bench in the right order, you've got your captain on the right player, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course. Should I start Palmer or Diaby? Ask Remo. Palmer. Start Palmer. 100%. Saka or Bowen start? Saka. Pedro Neto or Bowen? Bowen. Flame says 10 minutes to go. Like up the live. McNeil or Kulu? McNeil or Kulu? Kulu. Interesting couple of players to own that. Is that in the main game or are you on draft there? I'd say Kulu. Lobby says, should I roll? Who do I captain? I mean, it's hard to say without knowing your team, but in terms of captaincy, Watkins, Solanke, Haaland are all great. If I was going to put them in order, I'd say Haaland, Watkins, Solanke. And then after that, I mean, probably Palmer, Gordon. So yeah, I mean, I think rolling's good. Like, having 2 transfers in Gameweek 24 is a very strong position to be in, because now you can really like hone in on the double Gameweek 25. For anyone who's joining late, that has been announced while we were live. Sorry, there we go. That has been announced. That's the double. So Brentford play against Liverpool and City in 25. We knew this already. City play Chelsea and Brentford. But the bottom 2 have been added to Gameweek 25. So Liverpool's double is Brentford away, Luton home. And Luton's double is Man United home, Liverpool away. So, yeah, suddenly having 2 transfers in 24 is going to be very useful for getting players like Trent and Salah. Maybe Jota, maybe Darwin. So, yeah, decisions to make. So, if you can get into Gameweek 24 with 2 transfers, I mean, that's a solid position. Tony said he's not captaining Haaland. Fair enough. Who's he gone for? He said he's brought Haaland in, but he's going to captain another player. He doesn't expect Brentford away to be an easy game, but my opinion is that he starts, but let's see, he says. Fair enough. I mean, I don't disagree. I think Brentford could be a tough game. They're a physical side. And we mentioned earlier they could force City to create lots of low quality chances, shooting from difficult angles outside the box and that sort of thing, but yeah, it's very close this week. Fair enough. That's what he wants to do. Thomas says Foden, De Bruyne, Saka, Gordon, Palmer. Which 4? The 4 I would pick is De Bruyne, Saka, Gordon and Palmer. So Foden misses out. Rob's sold Gusto for Trippier. Yeah, we haven't even talked about Trippier. Like, Trippier, I think, is a great move this week. The problem now is we've had that double announced, so that's a factor, isn't it? Because transfers are precious, but I think Trippier is a great transfer this week still. FPL 1 says 9 mil in the bank, Haaland, roll, or who in? Let's see. Let's see who you got. 9 mil in the bank. Yeah, exactly 9 mil. So, can you afford... Got 1 free transfer. Now, in your case, I don't think I'd take a -4. I would roll. You start Bernardo, so you bench Doughty. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. And then you could get in Haaland in 24. It's just, I don't see an easy way to get him this week. Like, you could do Saka to Gordon, Obama to Haaland, something like that. But it'd be a -4 this week. So I would do that, or I would roll. I don't know if that's worth a -4, to be honest. But if you're desperate for Haaland, that's what I'd probably do. Saka to Gordon and Mubama to Haaland. Yeah, difficult route back to Haaland there. But no, I'd probably roll that. Ilalo says, ladies and gents, give the stream a thumbs up. Yeah, if you if you've enjoyed the stream, give it a thumbs up. Or if you haven't, thumbs down is alright as well. Can you suggest a captain for my team? In terms of the captains, so I'll put them in order in my preference. I would say Haaland, then Watkins. I mean, Watkins and Solanke are honestly like completely even. Watkins, then Solanke, Palmer, and then Gordon. Like, surely everyone's got at least a few of those. Sam GK says Foden or Saka and Cash or Saliba. I would say Saka and Cash. Yeah, Saka and Cash. Alexei says, should I bench Bowen or Foden? I'd rather bench Bowen between the two. I mean, there's a lot of 50-50s this week, and it's a bit annoying when there's so many 50-50s because it feels like you could easily get it wrong. Like, even stuff like Saka or Gross is a popular one people have been talking about on Discord. That's pretty close. I'd say Saka just about, but it's close. And I'd say that's also 50-50, but I'd start Bowen. We Talk Football says, bench one out of Foden, Saka and Jota. It's between Foden and Jota. I'd bench Foden, I would say. Just about Foden, I'd bench there. No, Haaland's not confirmed to start. They don't play till Monday, so we're not going to get any leaks or anything like that. Unfortunately, no early news, so just going to have to take a chance. You're going to have to play legit, guys. Is Trent to Trips good? No, definitely not. Liverpool double in 25 now. That's been announced, so Trent is an absolute hold. Solanke got a hat-trick last time, same fixture. Yeah, fair point, and he's home this week. This is what I mean, there's so many good captains this week. Yeah, Game Week 18, and he got a hat-trick in the reverse fixture against Forest. I don't know if Watkins got anything. No, they drew 1-1 against Sheffield United. Yeah, it's very split this week in terms of captaincies, quite a lot of benching decisions. But if anyone's joining late, I sold Alvarez for Haaland, so I've got a second free transfer. I'm going to have a think now over the next week about what moves I'll make, because originally it was pretty straightforward without Liverpool doubling in 25. It was going to be Bowen to Garnacho, Saka to De Bruyne, and then either of the forwards, Solanke or Watkins, to Tony. But now I need to think about Salah. But that makes it a lot harder because he costs like 2.5 mil more than De Bruyne. So, yeah, one to think about over the next week. I might just hedge my bets and go Bowen to Garnacho game week 24, and then just lock everything in with 3 moves for a hit in game week 25. Yeah, difficult. Taran says, for future purposes, would you say transferring Haaland out for Watkins rather than Solanke's better? You mean transferring Haaland in? For future purposes... The thing is, there's also rumoured double game week 28, I think it is, for Bournemouth coming. But for future purposes, probably Solanke, and then you'd get him back in later. But I really wouldn't sell Solanke or Watkins this week. Even for Haaland. It just feels too sideways this week, I think. When are you thinking of wildcarding? Maybe game week 31. Not sure yet. Maybe game week 31. Because I can prepare for the doubles and blanks in 34 if need be. You know, I could dead end my team into game week 29 because that's a blank game week. A huge blank game week. So I could dead end my team and then wildcard in game week 30 or 31. When I say dead end, it's selling players that don't play in game week 29, and then I'll buy them back straight away. So for example, let's say Haaland blanks in game week 29, which should happen. Tony definitely doesn't. So I could do Haaland to Tony and then buy Haaland straight back. That would be dead ending. Lights Gaming says locked. Yeah, that's the deadline. There we are, 11 o'clock. We made it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the deadline stream. And if you did, before you go, make sure you hit like. Have we got 13 likes, or is mine not updated? I'm not sure what the actual like count is, but if you did like it, then like the stream. R. Kelly says deadline, Haaland blanks, sadly. Tim says, why would you not free hit? Save the free hit for a blank or double game week, 100%. Thanks very much, Luna, True For You, Flames, Gaming Today, Tim, R. Kelly, Levi, Jay, Sam. Oh, 680 likes. Okay. Alright, yeah, mine didn't update. Mine says 13. Or 14 if I like my own stream. I won't do that. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to head over to FPL Juice's stream. And we'll go show them some love. Spam Focal Raid in their chat. They've got 80 viewers, so let's get them well over 100. Let's get them to like a couple hundred. I'll spam the link to their stream in the chat. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. And thank you again for tuning into the stream. If you're not in the Discord, link below for that. I'll see you over at FPL Juice's stream. Spam Focal Raid in their chat. That's it from me. Focal out.